Hi there, my name is Tim, and in this set of video sessions, I will be going through exercises on the VideoX platform to help you understand how to build a proper logic, how to create beautiful, elegant solutions to the exercises of different levels. So today, we'll start with the exercise called isPalindrome. Let's read the requirements for the exercise. So write a static method called isPalindrome that accepts a string as a parameter and returns true if the string is palindrome and false if it's not a palindrome. Okay? So before we actually start solving our exercise, let's understand what is a palindrome string. As you can see here, a palindrome is a word or phrase that reads the same backward as forward. So basically, palindrome is a word that can be read exactly same without losing any content from the left to the right and from the right to the left side. Okay? So for example, here we have a race car and we have another example which is madam. When our method receives this kind of inputs, it should return true. If the word is not palindrome, which means that it is not the same as from the left to the right and right from the left. So yeah, in that case, we have to return false. Okay, cool. So one point to consider before actually starting solving our exercise is that our word has to be in one case. For example, here we have a race car, which is all lowercase, right? And our solution will be comparing the very first character in the word and the very last one. And it will be moving to the middle character from both ends. So actually we will have 2 points that will go from left to the right and from right to the left. Thus, we can actually compare everything. First of all, twice faster. Second, like this is a very elegant solution. Okay, so for that we have to first prepare our word. So let's write down our to-do list right here. So the very first one is prepare word. For example, in our case, we have to convert it to the same case. It can be uppercase, it can be lowercase, really doesn't matter. The only thing is that we have to make sure that all characters are in one case, because for example, this one and this one, they are not equal to each other, right? So the lowercase a and the uppercase a, they're not equal, and Java will not accept this as a true comparison. Okay, so we have to convert everything either to this condition or to this condition, like this. Okay, cool. Yeah, like this. All right, so this is our step number 1. Prepare the word. What is the next one? Next one is, since I told you that we'll be moving from 2 different indexes, so basically we'll start with the very first and the very last, and we will be moving to opposite direction in order to meet at the middle point, okay? So when do we understand that we can stop comparing? Basically, here I can show you like on each character. So if we start from the very first and the very last, we have to compare these two, and if they are equal to each other, we can go on and compare the second element from the end and the second element from the beginning, right? Once we compare these two and make sure that they are equal, so if these two equal, we can go to the third element from the left and third element from the right, okay? We will compare these two as well. Now we have only one character left. So basically 2 indexes, the one from the left and the one from the right, they will meet at the same point. That is when we understand that we can stop our loop and we can return true, basically because there is nothing else left to check. If all the characters are equal to each other, if they were equal to each other, it means that our word is palindrome. We can break the loop and we can return the true statement, okay? For example, if we start comparing let's say, so the word is not the race car, but race jar. Let's say like this, okay? Cool. So we will start from the first and from the last. We compare these two. They are equal to each other. Cool. We will move to the second and to the second from the right one. We will compare these two characters. Cool. They are equal. Then we have to move to the third element from the left and third element from the right. Now, when we compare these two characters and they are not equal, okay, so C is not equal to J, that is when we have to return false straight away. So we have to break the loop and we have to return false. Once you put this return statement, our loop will stop, our method will stop executing, and it will just return false straight away. Okay, it will not wait for the loop to complete its turn. It will not wait for the left and right points to be equal. It just returns false straight away and it will break the loop. Okay, so this will be our breaking point when the two characters on two different on two opposite indexes are not equal to each other. Okay, so into the list we will write the second point, which is create 2 points and navigate from both ends to the middle. Okay, cool. And the third one would be just return true if 2 points address to the same character. So basically, if they are equal to each other. Okay, let's shorten this one. If 2 points become equal to each other. Okay, and return false if left and right characters are not equal. Okay, let me just put it like this. All right. Yeah, so we have our plan. We have a list of to-dos. We can cover everything step by step. So let's start actually solving this exercise. First, we have to create a static method with this name, which accepts the string as a parameter. So basically, we'll have only one parameter, and it has to return Boolean. So it has to return either true or false. Okay, let's start. Static Boolean is palindrome, and here we have string word. Let's keep it like this. All right, so this is our declaration. Okay, so method declaration. Now we are good to go and build the logic of our method. The very first point is prepare the word. I will create a separate variable which I will call word prepared, and I have to make sure that this word is either uppercase or lowercase. Okay, so in my case I will just convert it to lowercase. Yeah, cool. This is good to go, but before I go to the next point, I want to explain one point. So we have to make sure that each method, each solution that we actually choose, each approach that we are actually building is, first of all, memory efficient. Second of all, it's time efficient, all right? So right now we will make it time efficient because we'll be starting from 2 points and we'll move to the middle element at the same time. Okay, so it's this method will be twice shorter than we could do it. For example, the general loops, they actually start from the left and they navigate to the right, okay? Or they can start from the very last element and navigate to the very first one. Here, we will do what? We'll have 2 points and we will navigate from both ends to the middle. That is time efficient. Second one is memory efficiency. What is memory efficiency? We don't want to overload our solutions with too many variables, with too many dependencies, and everything like, okay? We don't want to use additional if-else statements where they are not required. For example, right here, we have one variable, which is our parameter, okay? So the word is given to us inside the parameter. So this is actually one container, okay? It contains some word, contains some value here. What I'm doing is that I am creating another variable and I'm saving exactly the same word, but just changing the case. So starting from this point, I will be not using the initial variable anymore. I don't need it actually, okay? Because I need the prepared version of it. I don't need the original one. So this container now holds some space, but it's not used at all, okay? So we are not using actually anymore. What is my approach is to reuse this variable. So basically I will just override the container. I will just save exactly the same prepared word. I will save to the same container. Now it holds the prepared word and I can reuse this container in the future. So before this point, it holds original string. After this line, the same variable will hold the prepared string, which is now in lowercase, okay? So every time, guys, every time when you build your solutions, remember that it has to be time efficient and it has to be memory efficient, because the memory, it is, right now we have a lot of memory, of course, like we can download megabytes and gigabytes and everything, but still, memory efficiency is very important in programming, okay? Cool. Let's now move to the second point. So we have to create 2 points that will navigate from both ends to the middle, right? I will create, the very first one is integer left is equal to 0, why 0, because every string starts from string 0. So basically our first letter will be on index 0, and integer right. Here, I have to make our method dynamic and flexible so that every word that we receive, regardless of its length, we can find our very last character. For that, what I will do, I will use the method called length, which will give me the full length of the word. So if, for example, we have a race car, it will return me 7. Why 7? Because there are 7 characters, right? But let's not forget that even though it is 7 in length, so basically it has 7 characters, the very last character is on index 6. So if I say that I want to receive the character on index 7, it will throw me an error, because there is no more, after 6, there are no more characters, right? After index 6, there are no more characters, and for that reason, it will throw me an error, and I will break my method. In order to avoid that, I have to -1. I have to put here -1 because we are subtracting actually one index from the length to optimize our solution. Cool. So I have created 2 points. Now I have to make them move to the middle. Okay, so they have to move to the middle, and this is our third point. How I will do it? I will use while loop, and our main condition here is that return true if 2 points become equal to each other. So basically, what does it mean? It means that if the left and the right will have exactly the same number, my while loop should stop. Okay, my while loop should stop, and I won't need to iterate anymore inside this loop. So my logic will look like this. While left is smaller than right. Okay, so since our left index is always smaller than the right one until the point they meet at some index, it will be true. How I will make these two move to the middle direction? First, I have to increment the left index. So basically, I have to make it add +1 each iteration. So right now it's 0. Next iteration it will be 1. Next iteration it will be 2, and so on and so on. Okay. So I have to increment the left one, and I have to decrement the right one. So it actually will hold -1 value. Here I have right decremented. Cool. So now I am making these 2 points move to the middle direction until they become equal to each other. Okay. Once they become equal to each other, this loop will be done, and my code will move to line number 17. Okay. On the line 17, what should we have here? As we said in the point number 3, return true if 2 points become equal to each other. Okay. So once my 2 points, they become equal to each other, once my loop is done and it moves to the line number 17, here is where I have to return the true value. Here is when I have to stop my program, my solution, and the return value is given from the calling side. Okay. So yeah, I made them move to the middle. I provided the return statement. Now I have to provide our second condition, which is return false if left and right characters are not equal to each other. Where do I have to provide them? I have to provide them before incrementing and decrementing. Okay, so basically we don't forget our very first characters from the both ends. Cool. So let's start. Condition is if my word dot character at point left is not equal to the word dot character at point right, yeah, I have to return false, like this. So what is happening here? I am making a check if the character on index left and character on index right, if they are not equal to each other, I am straight away returning the false statement, as I have described here. False if left and right characters are not equal to each other. So basically, if this one will be a true statement, if our left index character and right index character, they will not be equal to each other, we have to return false straight away. And if this one is true, if this one will happen at any case, for example, in example number 3, my program will stop straight on this line, like straight here. It will not increment, it will not decrement, it will not come to the point where it's returning true. It will just return us false directly to this return statement, and boom, our method will stop executing exactly at this point. Okay, so the return is the keyword which stops our loop from incrementing and going through another iteration. So yeah, that's it, guys. So this is our solution. We are done. It looks very elegant, it is time efficient, it is memory efficient. Let's test out. So the very first, I have to provide our positive case scenario, which is the word in all lowercase, right? I will run the code, and as you can see, it's returning true. If I provide, for example, if I will make few letters in capital, like this, it is still returning true because we have our preparation point. Yeah. Now I will just click on the submit and check if all test cases will pass. Cool. So we have all our test cases passed, and yeah, great. So yeah, guys, this was the solution to exercise isPalindrome. Hope you will practice this and try it on your own as well. If you will have any questions, don't hesitate to ask our tech support team in the channels. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next exercise solution sessions. Thank you.